Once upon a time, in the rich part of Lagos, there was a man named Chidubem Okonkwo. He was 32 years old, tall, calm, and well-dressed. People knew his name before they knew his face. His father was dead, but the family name still opened doors everywhere. Okonkwo Holdings owned hotels, estates, farms, and a big chain of banks called Zenith Trust. But inside the Okonkwo family house in Ikoyi, Chidubem did not feel like a king. He stood in his mother's private study, his jaw tight, while Chief Mrs. Ngozi Okonkwo held a phone in her hand. Her face was hard. The room was silent except for the soft hum of the air conditioner. On the phone screen was a picture. It showed his girlfriend, Sandra, standing near the family vault room, holding her phone over some private company papers. Sandra sat on the edge of a leather chair, shaking her head fast. "Chief Mrs., please. It is not what it looks like," she said. Ngozi turned her eyes to her slowly. "What does it look like?" she asked. Sandra swallowed. "I only wanted to understand the kind of family I was entering." "You wanted to understand by taking pictures of land titles, bank reports, and private holdings?" "I did not know they were private." Ngozi gave a short laugh, but there was no joy in it. "The door has a keypad. The file cabinet has a lock. The documents have red stamps on them." "What part did you not know?" Sandra looked at Chidubem. "Baby, say something." Chidubem did not move. He had brought Sandra home for dinner because she had been asking for months. She was beautiful, smart, and always smiling in public. She laughed at his jokes. She held his hand when they entered parties. She told people she loved him. But now, looking at her face, he felt tired. "Sandra," he said quietly, "why did you go near that room?" She stood up. "I was lost." Ngozi raised the phone higher. "You were lost for 12 minutes. Sandra's lips parted, but no words came. Ngozi pressed a button on the intercom. "Agnes, please escort Miss Sandra out." Sandra's eyes filled with tears at once. "Chidubem, please. You know me." He looked at her for a long moment. "I thought I did." Her face changed. The soft crying stopped. Anger entered her eyes. "So that is it? Your mother snaps her finger and I am thrown away like dirt." Ngozi did not blink. "No. You threw yourself away." The door opened. 2 house staff stood outside. Sandra picked up her purse with shaking hands, walked to the door, then stopped. "You people think money makes you better than everybody," she said. "One day you will learn." Ngozi looked away like Sandra had already left. After the door closed, Chidubem turned to his mother. "You embarrassed her." Ngozi placed the phone on her desk. "She embarrassed herself. You were watching her." "I watch everybody who comes near this family." "That is the problem, Mama. You do not trust anyone." Ngozi walked to the window. The evening light touched her white lace blouse. She was in her late 50s, but she stood straight like a woman who had fought too many battles to bend now. "I trusted your father," she said. "That was enough trusting for one lifetime." Chidubem looked down. His father had died 5 years before. After that, Ngozi became harder. She carried the company, the name, the staff, the family, and the enemies. She trusted numbers more than people. She trusted signed papers more than tears. But Chidubem was tired of living like every woman who smiled at him was a thief. "Mama, not every woman wants to steal from us." Ngozi turned from the window. "Then why do you keep bringing the ones who do?" He frowned. "That is not fair." "It is true. Sandra made a mistake. Sandra made a plan." He rubbed his face. "I am not a child." "Then stop choosing like one." The words hit him. He laughed once, but it was a bitter laugh. "So what do you want? Should I marry one of your friend's daughters so you can sleep well?" Ngozi walked back to her desk and opened a drawer. She brought out a cream envelope and dropped it in front of him. He did not touch it. "What is that?" "A list." His face hardened. "A list of what?" "Women from good homes. Educated women. Women whose families we know. Women who understand duty." He stared at her. "You made a marriage list for me?" "I made a safety list for this family. I am not company property." "No." But one foolish marriage can destroy everything your father built. Chidabem stepped back from the desk. You cannot control my life like this. Ngozi's voice rose for the first time. And you cannot keep opening the gate for snakes because they call you sweet names. They stared at each other, mother and son, both proud, both wounded, both sure they were right. Then Ngozi spoke again, lower this time. You have 1 year. He narrowed his eyes. 1 year for what? To marry. He gave a small smile as if he had misheard. Mama, do not joke with me. I am not joking. 1 year. If by this time next year you have not found a wife with sense, I will choose one. His smile disappeared. You will choose? Yes. And I am supposed to accept? Yes. He looked at the envelope again. Then he pushed it back across the table. No. Ngozi's eyes sharpened. No. No. I will not marry from your list. Then bring a woman I can trust. You will not trust her. Bring one who gives me a reason. He walked to the side table and poured water into a glass. His hand was steady, but his chest was hot. Do you know why I cannot find someone real? He asked. Ngozi folded her arms. Because you do not look in real places. No. Because nobody meets me as a man. They meet me as Chidabem Okonkwo. They see the cars, the house, the name, the bank, the future. Even when they are kind, I do not know what they are kind to. His mother said nothing. So give me a real place, he said. What does that mean? He turned to her. 6 months. For what? Let me go somewhere nobody knows me. Ngozi frowned. You want to travel? No. I want to work. You already work. No, Mama. I sit in glass rooms and people bring me reports. I want to work where people will not bow. She watched him closely. Speak clearly, Chidabem. He placed the glass down. Put me in your Victoria Island branch as a cleaner. Ngozi stared at him. A what? A cleaner. For 2 seconds there was complete silence. Then she laughed. This time it was real but sharp. You are losing your mind. I am serious. You, Chidabem Okonkwo, wanna mop floors? Yes. For what? To find out who sees me when there is nothing to see. Ngozi shook her head. This is foolish. No. Your list is foolish. Her face changed again. He moved closer to the desk. Give me 6 months undercover in your flagship branch. I will go as nobody. No car. No title. No special treatment. Let me live as an ordinary cleaner. If I find a woman who can love me there, a woman who treats me like a person when she thinks I have nothing, you will accept her. Ngozi's eyes stayed on him. And if you do not? He held her gaze. Then you choose. The room became still. Ngozi looked at him for a long time. She knew her son. When he made up his mind, force only pushed him deeper. You think poor treatment will show you love? She asked. No. I think power hides people. I want to see without power. And what happens when the staff insult you? I will listen. When women ignore you, I will learn. When someone uses you, I will know the difference. Ngozi walked around the desk. You do not understand the world you are asking to enter. Then let me understand it. You may get hurt. I am already tired. His answer softened something in her face, but only for a moment. She looked toward the family portrait on the wall. His father smiled in the picture, broad and proud, one hand resting on young Chidabem's shoulder. Ngozi spoke without turning. Your father trusted people too easily. Chidabem's voice was quiet. I am not father. No. You are his son. That is worse. He took the cream envelope and tore it in half. Ngozi turned quickly. Mama, he said, 6 months. If I fail, I will sit with your list. You will not tell anyone who you are. I will not. You will not use your name to help any woman impress you. I will not. You will report to me through Baba Musa only. He paused. Baba Musa. He has been with us since before you were born. He works security at that branch now. He will know. No one else. Chidabem nodded. And if you are exposed before 6 months? she asked. Then I lose. And if the woman finds out and rejects you? His jaw moved slightly. Then maybe she was right to. Ngozi studied him. Then she said, "You will start next Monday." He blinked. He had not expected her to agree so fast. "You are agreeing? I am testing you too." "How?" She picked up the torn envelope from the desk. "You think this is about finding a wife. I think it is about finding sense." He almost smiled, but her face warned him not to. "Thank you, Mama. Do not thank me yet." She pressed the intercom again. "Tell Musa to come to the house tomorrow morning." The next Monday came with heavy clouds over Victoria Island. The sky looked ready to rain, but the city was already awake. Cars pushed through traffic. Horns shouted. Bank workers stepped down from ride-hailing cars with polished shoes and tired faces. At the back gate of Zenith Trust, Victoria Island branch, a man in a simple gray uniform stood with a mop, a bucket, and a small bag. "No wristwatch. No driver. No perfume. No fine suit. Just Chidubem Okonkwo, now called Dubum." Baba Musa stood beside the security post, his white beard neat, his cap low over his eyes. He looked at Dubum from head to toe and shook his head. "Your mother is a strong woman," Baba Musa said. Dubum smiled. "You mean stubborn. I did not say that. I still like my job." Dubum looked at the tall bank building in front of him. The glass doors shone. Staff moved inside like they owned the morning. "Nobody else knows?" Dubum asked. "Nobody," Baba Musa said. "The branch manager knows only that head office sent a temporary cleaner. Your file is clean. Your name is Dubum Nwosu, from Enugu. No family here." Dubum nodded. Baba Musa lowered his voice. "Sir, once you enter there, you must forget that people used to stand when you entered rooms. Do not call me sir." Baba Musa looked around. "Old habit. Inside this branch, I am cleaner." Baba Musa's face became serious. "Then hear me like one. Some people will treat you well. Some will not see you. Some will enjoy seeing you down. Do not answer all insult. Do not fight every battle. A man who is watching must not make too much noise." Dubum held the mop tighter. "I understand." Baba Musa opened the staff gate. Dubum stepped inside. The branch smelled of cold air, floor polish, perfume, and money. He could hear printers, ringing phones, and the soft voices of staff getting ready for customers. A woman at the front desk looked at him once, then looked away. A young man in a tight blue suit pointed toward the far wall. "Cleaner, start from there. Customers will soon enter." Dubum turned toward the wall. His 6 months had begun. Dubum dipped the mop into the bucket and pressed it hard. The water was cold. His hands were not used to it, but he kept his face calm. He started from the far wall like the man had ordered. The marble floor was already clean, but he mopped it again. The branch lights were bright. They showed every water line, every small footmark, every mistake. A woman in heels walked past him without slowing down. Her shoe touched the edge of his bucket, and dirty water shook against the sides. She did not say sorry. Another staff member stepped over the mop like it was a stick in the gutter. "Please be careful," Dubum said gently. The man did not even turn. At 8 o'clock, the front doors opened. Customers began to enter. Some came with files. Some came with anger already on their faces. Some came with hope. The bank swallowed them all. Dubum moved to the side and wiped the glass beside the ATM waiting area. "Cleaner," he turned. A broad man in a dark suit stood near the operations desk. He had a round face, smooth skin, and eyes that liked to measure people. His name tag read Mr. Bassi. "Yes, sir," Dubum said. Mr. Bassi pointed to a small wet patch near the entrance. "What is that?" Dubum looked. Someone had walked in with rainwater under their shoes. "Water from outside, sir. I will clean it now." "You will clean it now?" Bassi asked, as if the answer offended him. "Should customers fall first before you see it?" "No, sir. Use your eyes. That is what they are for." Some staff looked up. 1 or 2 smiled. Dubum carried the mop and cleaned the patch. Bassi stood over him. And do not leave your bucket where staff will break their legs. This is a bank, not your village square. Dubum's hand paused for half a second. Then he continued mopping. Yes, sir. Bassie walked away. Near the customer service desk, a woman sprayed perfume into the air. She had long hair, bright nails, and a smile that looked sharp at the edges. Her name tag read Cynthia. She waved the perfume bottle again as Dubum passed. Please, please, don't bring that mop smell here, she said. Her friend beside her laughed. Dubum stepped back. The floor near your desk needs cleaning. Clean it after I leave. A customer was watching, so Cynthia smiled wider. I react badly to strong smells. Dubum looked at the small bottle in her hand. The perfume smelled stronger than anything on his mop. But he only nodded. I will come back later. By noon, his shoulders ached. Not badly, but enough to remind him that this life was not a story. He had cleaned the banking hall 3 times, washed the staff toilet twice, carried waste bags to the back, and wiped rainwater from the entrance until his shirt stuck to his back. At 1:30, he took his food behind the generator house. It was the only place where nobody asked him to move. The generator was off, but the heat from the walls stayed trapped there. He sat on an old plastic crate and opened his small flask. Inside was plain white rice with no stew. He had packed it himself from the small room he rented for the test. He looked at the rice for a while. Then he heard footsteps. He closed the flask quickly. A young woman came around the corner holding a food bag. She stopped when she saw him. Oh, she said. Sorry. I did not know someone was here. It is fine, Dubum said. I am leaving. No. Stay. I only came to sit small. She wore the bank's junior teller uniform. Navy jacket, white shirt, simple shoes. Her hair was braided back neatly. She looked tired, but her eyes were kind. She sat on another crate, leaving space between them. For a few seconds, neither of them spoke. Then her stomach made a small sound. She looked embarrassed and laughed under her breath. Dubum looked away to help her feel less ashamed. She opened her food bag. The smell of jollof rice came out warm and rich. There was 1 boiled egg on top and a small piece of chicken. Dubum kept his eyes on the wall. She looked at his flask. Is that your food? Yes. Can I see? He shook his head. It is okay. She did not argue. She only brought out a second empty plastic container from her bag. It looked like she had used it before. She opened her own food, split the jollof rice into 2, cut the egg in half with a spoon, and put the smaller piece of chicken into his container. Dubum watched her. What are you doing? Sharing. I did not ask. I know. I have food. She looked at the closed flask. I know. Her voice was soft. No pride. No piti. That made it harder to refuse. She pushed the container toward him. Take it before it gets cold. He did not touch it. You do not even know me. She smiled a little. You are the new cleaner. That is not knowing me. True, but hunger is hunger. He looked at her face, trying to see if she wanted thanks, attention, or gossip. He saw none. What is your name? He asked. A doggo. Dubum. I know. Baba Musa told me. Baba Musa talks too much. He said you are quiet and that people should not disturb you. Dubum almost laughed. That sounds like him. She picked up her spoon. Eat. He opened the container. The rice was still warm. He took 1 spoon and paused. Tasted better than he expected. Maybe because it had stew. Maybe because he had been hungry. Maybe because she had shared it without making him feel small. Thank you, he said. She only nodded and ate her own food. After lunch, she washed both containers at the back tap. When he tried to take his, she shook her head. Tomorrow, bring it back. Tomorrow? Yes, you will return my container. I can return it now. Tomorrow, she said again. Then she walked back into the branch before he could answer. The next day, Dubum brought the container. He found it strange that he thought about it in the morning. He had ironed his cleaner uniform carefully. He had packed his plain rice again. But this time, he waited behind the generator house at lunch. Adago came 5 minutes late. She was carrying her food bag. "You came," she said. "You told me to return your container." She took it and opened her bag. This time she had beans and plantain. Dubum frowned. "No, you cannot share every day." She sat down. "Who said every day? You are already bringing 2 spoons." She looked at the spoons in her hand and smiled. "I like having options." "Adago." She looked at him. It was the first time he said her name. "I have food," he said. She leaned forward. "Show me." He opened his flask. Plain rice again. She looked inside, then looked at him. "Do you fight with stew?" He laughed before he could stop himself. The sound surprised him. She smiled, then put beans and plantain into the second container. "Eat. I will pay you." Her face changed at once. "Please don't insult me. I did not mean it like that." "I know, but don't." He nodded. They ate in silence for a while. Not an empty silence. Peaceful one. On the 3rd day, he tried to hide. He told himself she had little money. He had seen junior teller salaries. He knew what staff like her earned. He did not want to take food from someone who needed it. So at lunch, he went to the side of the building near the water tanks. He had only taken 2 spoons of rice when her shadow fell across the ground. "So you ran away," she said. Dubum closed his eyes briefly. "I did not run. You changed location. That is not running." She sat on a low block opposite him. "Today is yam porridge." "Adago, listen to me." "No, you listen. I bring food from home. My mother cooks like she is feeding a wedding. If I do not eat it, it wastes. If I share it, it helps. Why are you making it a court case?" "Because you do not know what I can afford. And you do not know what I can give." That stopped him. She opened her bag and brought out the container. "I am not feeding you because you are weak," she said. "I am feeding you because I can. Tomorrow, maybe you will feed me. That is life." He stared at her. Nobody at the branch had said his name with respect that day. Nobody had asked if he was tired. Nobody had seen him sit in the heat. But this woman had searched for him because she did not want him to eat plain rice alone. He took the container. "Thank you." "Good." She handed him a spoon. When they returned to the branch, Cynthia was standing near the back entrance. She looked from Adago to Dubum, then down at the containers. Well, Cynthia said. "Our teller has started feeding staff." Adago did not answer. Cynthia smiled at Dubum. "Cleaner, you are enjoying." Dubum lowered his eyes and moved aside. Adago walked past Cynthia without a word. But Cynthia was not done. "Adago, you are too kind. Be careful before some people start waiting for you every day." Adago stopped and turned. "If someone is hungry and I have food, I will share. That one does not need meeting approval." Cynthia's smile became thin. "I was only joking. I was only answering." Then Adago entered the branch. Dubum looked at Cynthia once. She looked away first. That afternoon, he cleaned near Adago's teller cubicle. She worked fast, counting cash with steady fingers. Customers leaned toward her glass window with forms, questions, and complaints. She answered each one calmly. When an old woman forgot her account number, Adago did not hiss. When a man shouted because his transfer was delayed, she did not shout back. When Mr. Bassi called her name from across the hall like she was a child, she stood, answered, and returned to her seat with her face calm. But Dubum noticed her hand. Under the counter, where customers could not see, her fingers pressed hard against her skirt. That night, when the branch closed, Baba Musa walked with Dubum to the staff gate. "You are seeing now?" Baba Musa asked. Dubum looked at the empty banking hall through the glass. "Yes." "Seeing what?" Dubum thought of Bassi's voice, Cynthia's perfume, the staff who stepped over his bucket, and the young teller who split her food without asking for praise. He said, "People look different when they think you cannot help them."
Baba Musa nodded slowly.
"And when they think you cannot hurt them." Dubum turned toward the road. For the first time since the test began, he was not thinking of his mother's list. He was thinking of jollof rice in 2 containers. The rain fell hard the next morning. Water ran down the glass front of Zenith Trust and gathered near the entrance. Dubum reached the branch before most staff. He rolled up his trousers a little and began to mop before customers came. Baba Musa stood under the small security shade with his hands behind his back. "You came early," he said. Dubum squeezed the mop. "The floor will be worse today." Baba Musa looked at him with a small smile. "You are now taking the work seriously. I took it seriously before. You were acting before. Now you are learning." Dubum did not answer. A taxi stopped at the front. A doggo came down holding a black nylon bag over her head. Her shoes splashed through water. She almost slipped, but caught the gate. Dubum moved without thinking. "Careful." She looked up and smiled. "Good morning, Dubum." "Good morning." Baba Musa looked from one to the other, then looked away like he had seen nothing. A doggo shook water from her sleeve. "You are early. So are you. I have to balance yesterday's reports before opening." Dubum remembered the tiredness he had seen in her hand. "You work too much." She laughed softly. "Tell my salary to work less too." She went inside. Dubum watched her walk across the lobby, holding her wet shoes carefully so she would not dirty the floor he had just cleaned. Many people did not notice such things. He did. That week, Dubum started watching a doggo more closely. Not in a strange way. He listened when people spoke about her. He noticed when she left late. He noticed when she took calls outside, speaking low with worry on her face. One afternoon, while cleaning near the staff kitchen, he heard two tellers talking. "A doggo is strong," one said. "If it were me, I would have resigned." With her mother sick, resign and eat sand. True. And her two siblings are still in school. Bassie is the one blocking her promotion because she refused him. "Keep your voice down." Dubum's hand stopped on the table he was wiping. The two women lowered their voices, but he still heard enough. A doggo's mother had kidney problems. Her younger brother was in Polytechnic. Her younger sister was in secondary school. A doggo paid rent, medicine, school fees, food, and transport from her small salary. At night, she attended accounting classes 3 times a week. Dubum carried the dirty cups to the sink. He remembered her words. "If I share it, it helps." He looked at the cups in his hand and felt something press his chest. That day at lunch, he did not ask her about her family. He knew people with pain did not always want questions. They sat behind the generator house. She had rice and beans. He had bought stew from a roadside woman and added it to his rice. A doggo looked at his food and nodded. "Progress. I am trying. Soon you will graduate to meet. Let us not rush greatness." She laughed. It was a small laugh, but it changed the heat around them. He wanted to say, "I heard about your mother. I heard about your siblings. I know you carry too much." But he did not. Instead he said, "You go to school after work?" Her spoon paused. "Who told you?" "No one. I saw a textbook in your bag yesterday." She looked at him, then relaxed. "Yes, accounting." "Why accounting?" "I work in a bank. I count people's money every day. One day I want to understand money well enough to help people who do not have plenty of it." He leaned back against the wall. "That is a big plan." "It is a small plan that became big because life is expensive." "What do you want to do with it?" She looked down at her food. "My mother used to sell foodstuffs in Mile 12 Market. Sometimes she needed small loans to buy stock. The people who gave her money treated her like a thief before she even borrowed. They took too much interest. They shouted at women in front of their children. I used to hate it." Her voice stayed calm, but her spoon moved slowly. "So I said, one day, I will open a small place for market women. Not big bank, just fair loans, small training. Noscham." Dubum looked at her. "And you still want that?" She looked up. "Yes. Wanting it is free." He smiled. "Doing it is not." "I know." The back door opened before he could speak again. A young staff member shouted, "A doggo?" Old man Wala at the counter. "Bassie said you should come." A doggo closed her food at once. "My break is not over." He said now. She stood. Dubum stood too. I will wash these. No, leave it. I will come back. But she did not come back for the food. Inside the banking hall, an elderly man stood at the customer service area, holding a worn file. His white shirt was too big for him. His glasses sat crooked on his face. He looked confused and afraid. Mr. Bassi stood in front of him with a tight smile. Papa, I have explained. If your signature is not matching, we cannot pay you. Step aside so other customers can be attended to. The old man held the file to his chest. My hand shakes now. It is still me. I opened this account when your bank was still in one small building. Papa, everybody says that. Some customers laughed quietly. The old man's face fell. A doggo came from behind the counter. Sir, she said to Bassi, let me check his BVN and old mandate card. Bassi looked at her. Are you teaching me my work? No, sir. I just know Papa. He comes every month. Then you should have taught him to sign well. The old man looked at a doggo with weak hope. My daughter, please. I need to buy medicine. Bassi pointed toward the waiting chairs. Let him sit. When we have time, we will check. A doggo looked at the clock. Her break had 10 minutes left. I can use my break, sir. Bassi's face hardened a little. You like carrying problems. She did not answer. She took the old man gently by the elbow. Come, Papa. Let us sit. Dubum stood near the glass door with a cleaning cloth in his hand, watching. A doggo sat with the man at a side desk. She asked for his ID. She compared old signatures. She called someone in records. She helped him fill a fresh form because his hand shook too much. When he grew embarrassed, she lowered her voice so no one else would hear. Take your time, sir. No rush. My eyes are not good again, the old man said. That is why I am here. Bassi passed once and muttered, Mother of the whole world. A doggo heard him. Her face did not change. After 30 minutes, the old man got his money. He held the cash in both hands and bowed his head toward her. My daughter, may your own children never leave you. A doggo smiled, but her eyes were wet. Go and buy your medicine, Papa. As the man left, he passed Dubum and said, That girl is a good child. Dubum nodded. Yes, sir. That evening, Dubum was sent to clean Mr. Bassi's office. The office smelled of leather and strong cologne. Files were stacked on one side of the desk. A small printer stood near the cabinet. The waste bin was full. Dubum tied the trash bag and lifted it out. A few papers slipped and spread across the floor. He bent to pick them. One paper caught his eye. It was a reconciliation printout. He saw account numbers, small balances, dormant labels, transfer codes. His eyes moved across the figures out of habit. He had spent years reading financial reports. Numbers spoke to him. Something was wrong. A dormant account had a balance movement. Then another. The same internal code appeared beside 3 names. One transfer was reversed. Another was marked pending. The pattern was too neat to be random. He picked up the second paper. More figures. Same code. Different dates. The office door opened. Dubum quickly gathered the papers and dropped them into the trash bag. Mr. Bassi entered, holding his phone to his ear. I told you not during working hours, he said into the phone. Do you want to finish me? He stopped when he saw Dubum. What are you doing? Cleaning, sir. Bassi looked at the trash bag. Who told you to touch my bin? Dubum kept his head low. Sir, cleaners empty all bins after close. Not mine unless I say so. I am sorry, sir. Bassi walked to him and snatched the trash bag from his hand. Leave it. Yes, sir. And next time knock. The door was open, sir. Bassi's eyes narrowed. Are you answering me? No, sir. Bassi held his gaze for a long moment. Get out. Dubum carried his mop and left. Outside the office, he walked slowly, not too fast. He could feel Bassi watching through the glass wall. When he reached the storage room, he closed the door and breathed out. He had only seen the papers for a few seconds, but the numbers stayed in his mind. Dormant accounts, internal transfer codes, reversals, pending marks. He did not yet know what it meant, but he knew one thing. Money was moving where money should be sleeping. That night, behind the branch, a doggo rushed out with a textbook under her arm. "You are leaving late," Dubum said. "So are you. I live close. I have class. In this rain." She looked at the sky. Rain did not pay my fees. He wanted to offer her a ride. He wanted to call his driver. He wanted to tell her he could pay for a safe car, for her classes, for her mother's medicine, for all the things bending her shoulders. But he was Dubum the cleaner. So he only said, "Do you have transport?" She checked her purse. Her face changed for one quick second before she smiled. "Yes." He saw the lie. Before he could speak, she opened her bag and brought out the container from lunch. "You forgot this." He took it. "A doggo." "Yes." "Why do you trust people?" She looked confused. "I do not trust people anyhow. You trust me enough to share food." She smiled a little. "Food is not a secret document." He almost laughed, but the papers in Bassie's bin came back to his mind. She stepped into the rain and hurried toward the road. Dubum watched her go. Inside the branch, on the second floor, Mr. Bassie's office light was still on. By the next week, their lunch had become a quiet habit. Dubum would arrive first behind the generator house, wipe one crate with an old cloth, and place it near the wall for a doggo. She always came with her food bag pressed to her side. Some days she was early. Some days she arrived late with stress on her face. But she came. They did not speak much at first. Then little things opened the door. One day, she found him trying to peel an orange with a spoon because he had forgotten a knife. She took it from him and peeled it in one long strip. "You have never suffered with orange before," she said. He looked at the orange in her hand. "What makes you say that? You are holding it like it is a bank form." He laughed. Another day, he saw her writing numbers in a small notebook. "What is that?" "My class work." "Can I see?" She gave him the book. He looked at the page and saw neat rows of income, expenses, and loan repayment schedules. Her writing was small but clear. "You understand this well," he said. "I understand it when I am not tired. You should be in accounts, not teller." She took the book back and closed it. "Promotion is not only about work." He looked at her. "Bassie." She did not answer at once. The generator behind them kicked once, then died. The silence became thick. Finally, she said, "Some doors open only when you agree to be small." Dubum's face tightened. "What did he do?" She shook her head. "Nothing I cannot handle." "That is not an answer. It is the answer I can give." He wanted to push, but her eyes warned him. She was not weak. She was careful. So he said, "You should not have to handle it alone." She looked at him for a long moment. Then she smiled, but it was not a happy smile. "Dubum, you are a cleaner. I am a junior teller. In this branch, we are both small. Let us not pretend we can fight giants with spoons." He leaned forward. "Sometimes spoons make noise." This time she laughed for real. "You are strange. I have heard worse." "I am sure." He almost told her then. The words rose in his throat. "I am not only a cleaner. I can help you. I know people who can remove Bassie in one phone call." But he saw how easily that truth could destroy the test. If she knew who he was, every look, every word, every act of kindness could change. He would never know what was real, and worse, she might feel tricked. So he swallowed the truth. "What is your dream branch?" he asked instead. "My own. Your own bank. Not a bank like this. A small microfinance office. Clean but not cold. Chairs for market women. A place where no one will shout at them because their English is not big. You have thought about it a lot." She tapped her notebook. "I have named it many times." "What name?" She looked shy for the first time. "You will laugh." "I will not." "Promise." "Promise." She looked down. "Yugo Women Finance." "Yugo," he repeated. "Eagle. My mother calls me a doggo because she says I was born on a day her heart rested. She used to say every woman needs wings, even if life ties rope to her leg." Dubum looked at her carefully. That is a good name. You did not laugh. I promised. She smiled and opened the food container. That same afternoon, Dubum tried one of his tests. Not a cruel test. A small one. He came to lunch late and sat with his face drawn. A doggo was already eating. You look like they deducted your salary before paying it, she said. He sat down slowly. I do not think I can come tomorrow. Her hand paused. Why? I do not have transport money. She looked at him. From where you stay? Aja sighed. It was a lie. He hated how easy it came out. How much do you need? He shook his head. No, I was just talking. She closed her food. How much? A doggo, please eat. She opened her purse under the table. He saw only a few notes inside. She counted them, stopped, counted again, then removed 2,000 naira. Take. He pushed her hand back. No. Take it. I said no. And I said take it. You need it more. Her eyes flashed. Do not decide what I need. He became quiet. She placed the money on top of his food container. When you have, return it. If you do not have, still come to work. He stared at the money. Why? She looked annoyed now. Why do you ask why for everything? If you cannot come to work, they will replace you. If they replace you, you will sit at home. If you sit at home, you will be hungry. Is that the explanation you want? He looked at her purse. Your own transport? I will manage. The shame he felt was not fake. He picked up the money slowly. Thank you. She opened her food again. Good. Now eat before I collect it back. He could not eat at first. He kept looking at the 2,000 naira. In his world, it was nothing. In hers, it had weight. Could be transport. Could be medicine. Could be food at home. She had given it because she thought he needed it. That evening, he went to the back gate and stood beside Baba Musa. I do not like lying to her, Dubum said. Baba Musa did not ask who. You wanted truth, the old man said. Sometimes truth hides behind lies until it is ready. That does not make it clean. No. Dubum turned to him. Then why am I doing it? Baba Musa looked into the banking hall where a doggo was still at her desk. Because if you enter as a prince, people will dance. If you enter as a cleaner, people will show their feet. Dubum said nothing. Baba Musa added, but remember, a dance can end. A wound can stay. The words followed Dubum into the next day. That Friday, rain threatened again. The branch was busy. Customers filled the waiting area. Cynthia moved around with her bright smile and sharp voice. Bassie stood near operations, snapping at staff in quick bursts. Around 6 in the evening, most customers had left. Staff began to close their systems. Dubum was sent to clean the back corridor near the records room. He heard voices. One was a doggo's. Sir, please, I need to leave. My class starts by 7. The other voice was Bassie's. Class, class, class. Everyday class. Is the bank paying you or the school? Dubum stopped near the corner. A doggo's voice stayed polite. I have finished my till balancing. That is not what I asked. Sir. Bassie stepped closer. Dubum could see them now through the small gap near the wall. Bassie stood too close to her. A doggo held her bag in front of her body. You keep forming busy, Bassie said. Do you know how many people are begging for your seat? I know, sir. You know I have been helping you. A doggo's face tightened. Sir, I work hard. Bassie smiled. Everybody works hard. But some people know how to be grateful. She tried to move past him. Excuse me, sir. He blocked her. A doggo, stop acting like you do not understand. I have recommended people with less sense than you. One word from me and your promotion can move. One word from me and your file can sleep forever.
Her handgribt her bag.
I am not interested in that kind of help. His smile disappeared. That kind. I mean, sir, I want promotion based on my work. Bassie laughed quietly. Your work? You think this life cares about your work? Dubum's hand tightened around the mop handle. A doggo's voice became low. Please let me pass. Bassie leaned in. You are proud because you think being good will save you. Let me tell you something. Good people suffer most because they think rules protect them. Dubum stepped back, grabbed his bucket, and pushed it hard with his foot. The bucket tipped. Dirty water rushed across the corridor floor and spread fast toward Bassie's shoes. Bassie jumped back. What is this? Dubum rushed forward with fake panic. Sir. Sorry, sir. The bucket slipped. The water kept moving. It soaked the edge of Bassie's trousers and reached the wall. You fool! Bassie shouted. A doggo stepped away quickly. Dubum bent with the mop. Sorry, sir. I am sorry. Bassie raised his hand as if he might hit him, then stopped. There were cameras in the corridor. You did this on purpose. No, sir. My hand slipped. Your hand slipped from around the corner? Dubum kept his head low. I was cleaning, sir. A doggo spoke quickly. Sir, I will go and get more rags. Bassie turned on her. Stay there. But she had already moved past him. Once she was behind Bassie, she looked at Dubum for 1 second. It was not a smile. It was not thanks. It was fear. Then she hurried away. Bassie stepped close to Dubum, his wet shoe making a soft sound on the floor. Look at me. Dubum looked up. Bassie's eyes were cold. You think you are clever? No, sir. You think because some small teller gives you rice, you now have wings? Dubum said nothing. Bassie bent slightly. Listen well. In this branch, people who forget their place do not last. Yes, sir. I can remove you with 1 phone call. Yes, sir. And I can make sure no branch takes you after this. Dubum held his face still. Yes, sir. Bassie stared at him, maybe waiting for fear. Dubum gave him silence. That seemed to make Bassie angrier. Clean this mess. Then clean the staff toilet again. All of it. Yes, sir. Bassie walked away, still shaking water from his shoe. Later, when the corridor was dry, a doggo came back. She stood near the wall holding her bag. You should not have done that, she said. Dubum wrung the mop into the bucket. Done what? Do not play with him. I was cleaning. Dubum. He stopped. She looked tired and scared. You do not know men like Bassie. He looked at the floor. I know enough. No. You do not. Men like him do not fight in the open. They wait. Then they take something from you. Dubum lifted the bucket. Let him try. Her voice cracked a little. This is not a film. He turned to her then. I know. For a moment, she looked like she wanted to say more. Instead, she opened her purse and brought out a folded note. The transport money you needed. Keep it. Don't miss work because of him. He stared at the note. I still have the one from yesterday. Then keep this one too. A doggo. Please. Her eyes were begging now, but not for herself. Do not let him chase you away because of me. Dubum took the money because refusing would hurt her more. She left for her class. Dubum stood in the empty corridor with the wet mop in his hand and her money in his pocket. Upstairs, Mr. Bassie's office light came on. Mr. Bassie did not always look like a thief. That was what made him dangerous. In the morning, he greeted important customers with both hands. He remembered birthdays. He called old women mama and young men my brother. He wore clean suits and spoke like a man who knew banking from the ground up. Many staff feared him. Some respected him. A few needed him. But by the end of that month, Dubum understood something. Bassie was afraid too. Not the kind of fear that made a man run. The kind that made a man control every door, every file, every weak person around him. One Tuesday afternoon, Dubum saw him shouting into his phone behind the records room. I said I will pay, Bassie whispered hard. Do not call my wife again. Are you mad? He listened, his face dark. No. Not this week. Head office is moving around. I said not this week. He ended the call and stood still, breathing through his nose. Then he turned and saw Dubum with a wastebasket. What are you looking at? Nothing, sir. Then move. Dubum moved. That same day, an email from head office reached the branch. The branch manager called a short meeting after closing. Dubum was cleaning the glass walls, close enough to hear. There will be a surprise audit sometime within the next 2 weeks, the branch manager said. No exact date. Head office wants all dormant accounts, cash vault records, teller limits, and reversal logs ready. Mr. Bassi, you will lead operations preparation. Bassi smiled. Of course, sir. Everything is in order. But Dubum saw his fingers tighten around his pen. After the meeting, Bassi did not leave early. He stayed in his office with the blinds half closed. 2 staff members came in and left. Then the IT contractor arrived. His name was Kelvin. Dubum had seen him before. He was a thin man with tired eyes and a laptop bag that looked too heavy for him. He came whenever systems failed, passwords locked, or printers refused to work. That evening, Kelvin signed the visitor log at 7:15. Dubum was mopping near the entrance. Baba Musa looked at the name, then at the time. Late work? He asked. Kelvin forced a smile. Server update. Mr. Bassi called me. Baba Musa pointed to the log. Write your company name well. Kelvin bent and wrote it. Bassi appeared from the back corridor. Musa, let him in. We have work. Baba Musa stamped the entry and opened the inner door. Dubum watched Kelvin follow Bassi inside. At lunch the next day, a doggo looked worried. She was not eating much. Dubum noticed. What happened? Nothing. He put down his spoon. You say nothing when something is sitting on your head. She sighed. Bassi said all tellers must attend system training after close. Is that bad? It is normal. But he said I must stay longer because I make too many process errors. Do you? She looked at him sharply.
No.
Then why did he say it? She opened her water bottle and closed it again. Because he can. That evening, Dubum cleaned near the training room. The tellers sat with their system tokens and ID cards. Bassi stood at the front with Kelvin beside him. The branch's training projector showed login screens and security steps. Your teller ID is your life, Bassi said. If you mishandle it, you will answer for anything done with it. His eyes rested on a doggo when he said that. She looked down at her notebook. One by one, the tellers came to Kelvin's laptop to check token sync. When a doggo came, Kelvin asked her to enter her ID and confirm a test code. She hesitated. Why on your laptop? Kelvin smiled nervously. It is just a sync tool. Bassi's voice cut in. Do you know IT more than IT? No, sir. Then do it. She typed. Dubum, wiping the glass outside, saw Kelvin's fingers move quickly after she stepped back. Too quickly. His stomach tightened. He could not see the screen clearly, but he saw Kelvin copy something to a small flash drive. Bassi saw Dubum looking through the glass. He walked to the door and opened it. Cleaner. Is there no toilet in this building? Dubum bent his head. I am cleaning this glass, sir. Leave it. Go and clean upstairs. Yes, sir. Dubum moved away, but his mind stayed there. 2 nights later, the branch closed at 6, but the lights did not go off. Dubum had finished his duties and was supposed to leave. Instead, he stayed in the storage room, arranging cleaning supplies slowly. At 8:45, he heard voices from the back corridor. Bassi and Kelvin. The window is tonight, Bassi said. Audit may come any day now. Kelvin's voice shook. I told you cloning is one thing, routing is another. If logs are pulled deeply, they can see source access. Not if you do it the way I paid you to do it. Mr. Bassi, this is too much money. You enjoyed too much money when I was paying you? Silence. Bassi lowered his voice. Listen to me. 3 transactions. 40 million total. Split it and pass through suspense before the holding account. By morning, it will look like teller override and reversal error. Why her? Bassi did not answer at once. Then he said, because people already know she thinks she is better than instructions. She questions. She refuses to cooperate. It will be easy to believe. Dubum's hand froze on a bottle of bleach. A doggo. Kelvin whispered. She will go to prison. Bassi's voice became flat. Then she should have been wiser in this life. Dubum wanted to step out and grab him. He wanted to end the game there, but he had nothing that would stand in court. Only words heard from a storage room. If he exposed himself now, Bassi could destroy the logs, blame a system error, and walk free. Dubum heard footsteps moving toward the server room. He waited 10 seconds, then opened the storage door quietly. The back corridor was dim. The server room door stood half open. Cold air came from inside. Green and blue lights blinked on the racks. Bassi stood beside Kelvin, watching him work on a laptop connected to the internal system. Dubum moved back before they saw him. Near the entrance desk, the visitor log still lay open beside Baba Musa, who had gone to check the perimeter. Dubum pulled out the small old phone he used as Dubum. He turned off the camera sound and took pictures of the page. Kelvin Adetala, 7:15 p.m. system maintenance. Authorized by Mr. Bassi. He also took a picture of the time on the wall clock. Then he heard Bassi's voice. Musa. Dubum slipped the phone into his pocket and grabbed the mop. Bassi came out of the corridor and stopped. What are you still doing here? Dubum looked up like he was surprised. Sir, I was told to wash the back stairs. By who? Madam Cynthia said customers complained of smell. Bassi's eyes moved over him. Where is Musa? I think outside, sir. Bassi came closer. You like staying around after close. I am paid to clean, sir. You are paid to clean, not to wander. Yes, sir. Bassi looked at the visitor log. It was still open. His eyes went back to Dubum. Give me your phone. Dubum's heart knocked once. My phone, sir? Are you deaf? Dubum reached into his pocket slowly and brought out a small cracked phone. Not the one he had used. He had two. The second phone was hidden inside his sock, pressed flat against his ankle. Bassi snatched the cracked phone and checked the gallery. Nothing. He checked messages. Nothing. He threw it back. Get out of this branch. Yes, sir. And if I see you near this corridor again after close, I will throw you out myself. Dubum nodded and left through the back. Outside, Baba Musa met him near the gate. What happened? Dubum lowered his voice. Bassi is moving money through a doggo's ID. Baba Musa's face changed. Are you sure? I heard him. Evidence. Not enough. Visitor log pictures. Time. I saw Kelvin in the server room. Baba Musa looked toward the building. Then we must tell your mother. No. Baba Musa stared at him. No. If we tell her now, she will come with power. Bassi will hide everything. He will say I misunderstood. He may even blame a doggo faster. Sir. Dubum. He corrected. Baba Musa breathed out. Dubum. This is dangerous. I know. Does the girl know? No. Will you warn her? Dubum looked through the glass. He could see a doggo's teller cubicle. Empty now, her small family photo tucked beside the computer. If I warn her without proof, what can she do? Run? Resign? They will still use her ID. And if Bassi knows I warned her, he will change plan. Baba Musa's old eyes filled with worry. So what will you do? Dubum touched the phone hidden at his ankle. Watch. The next morning, a doggo came to work with her hair tied back and a tired smile. You look like you fought the night, she said to Dubum near the staff entrance. He looked at her and felt the weight of what he knew. You look like you did not sleep. My mother had fever. Is she better? She said she is. That means no. A doggo tried to smile, but it failed. Dubum wanted to say, go home. Stay away. Danger is standing near your desk. Instead he said, please be careful today. She looked at him. Careful of what? He could not answer. Before she could ask again, Bassi's voice came from inside. A doggo. Your till will not open itself. She looked toward the branch, then back at Dubum. I will see you at lunch. She walked in. Dubum stood there with the mop in his hand, watching her step into a trap she did not know had already been set. The audit team arrived on a Thursday morning. They came in 3 black cars, 5 people in dark suits, carrying laptops and sealed files. Nobody in the branch smiled when they entered. Even customers felt something change. Mr. Bassi moved fast that morning. Too fast. He greeted the audit lead with both hands. Welcome, welcome. We have been expecting you. The audit lead, a woman with short hair and plain glasses, did not smile. "It is a surprise audit, Mr. Bassi. You were not supposed to expect us." Bassi laughed softly. "I mean, we are always ready." Dubum was cleaning near the entrance. He looked at Bassi's face. The man smiled, but a vein moved near his temple. Adago sat behind her teller glass counting cash. She had no idea that the air around her had changed. At 10:30, the auditors locked the dormant account records. At 11, they requested teller logs. At noon, they asked for Adago. A junior staff came to her cubicle. Bassi said, "You should come to the conference room." Adago stood. "Now?" "Yes." She looked toward Dubum, who was wiping the glass near the customer chairs. Their eyes met for 1 second. He felt his stomach drop. She followed the staff. The conference room blinds were half open. Dubum could not hear everything from where he stood, but he saw enough. Adago sat at the end of the table. Bassi stood behind one auditor. The branch manager looked confused. The audit lead turned her laptop toward Adago. Adago shook her head. Bassi folded his arms. The audit lead spoke again. Adago's hand went to her chest. Dubum walked closer with his mop, pretending to clean the corridor. The door opened. The branch manager stepped out. "Bassi," he said in a low voice, "call police liaison." Adago's voice came from inside. "Sir, please." "I did not do this." The branch manager closed his eyes briefly. Bassi said, loud enough for the corridor to hear, "Adago, this is not the time for drama. 40 million naira moved through your teller ID. 3 transactions. Your credentials. Your terminal mapping. I did not do it." Customers turned. Staff looked up. Cynthia stood from her desk, eyes wide, phone already in her hand. The audit lead came out with Adago behind her. "Please remain calm," the woman said. But calm had already left the building. 2 policemen entered 20 minutes later. They did not rush. That made it worse. Adago stood near her teller cubicle while one auditor and one staff member emptied her desk into a brown carton. Her small family photo went in. Her notebook went in. Her food container went in. Her pen holder went in. She watched like she was watching someone pack another person's life. Customers whispered, 40 million? That quiet girl? You can never know people. Cynthia held her phone low, recording. Dubum saw it. He walked toward her. "Please don't film." Cynthia looked at him as if he had touched her. "Excuse me? Please." She gave a small laugh. "Cleaner. Face your mop." Adago heard the word cleaner and turned. Their eyes met. Her face was pale. Not just afraid. Ashamed. As if the whole room had placed dirt on her and she did not know how to remove it. Bassi walked to her with a paper. "Sign that your items were packed in your presence." Adago looked at the paper. "My items? It is procedure. I did not steal money." Bassi lowered his voice, but Dubum was close enough. "Then prove it." Her eyes filled. "How?" He did not answer. One policeman stepped forward. "Madam, let us go." Adago stepped back. "Please, can I call my mother?" "At the station," the policeman said. "She is sick. Please, she will hear from someone else and panic." The audit lead looked uncomfortable. Bassi said, "No phone calls until statements are taken. We must protect the bank." Adago turned to the branch manager. "Sir, you know me?" The branch manager looked away. That was the moment something broke in her face. Not loudly, quietly, like a cup cracking under heat. Dubum moved before thinking. "Sir," he said to the branch manager, "please, let her call her family." Every eye turned to him. Bassi's face changed. "What did you say?" Dubum bowed his head. "I said, sir, maybe she can call." "Who asked you?" "No one, sir." "Then shut your mouth." Adago shook her head at Dubum, small and quick, warning him not to make it worse. The policeman held her arm. She pulled back once. "Please do not hold me like that. I will walk." The policeman let go. She lifted her chin and walked through the banking hall. Nobody clapped. Nobody shouted. that made the shame heavier. Cynthia kept recording. As a doggo passed Dubum, she whispered, "Do not follow." It was so soft only he heard it. He stood still as she was taken out. Outside, rain had started again. The police vehicle door opened. A doggo bent her head and entered. Dubum's hand tightened around the mop until his fingers hurt. Baba Musa stood at the gate, his face dark. When the police vehicle left, the branch came back to life slowly. Phones rang again. Customers stepped forward again. Staff whispered again. But something had changed. A doggo's cubicle was empty. At 3 o'clock, news reached her house. Her younger brother, Ikechukwu, came to the branch first. He was thin and angry with a school bag on one shoulder. "Where is my sister?" he shouted at the customer service desk. "Where did you take her?" Bassie came out. "Calm down." "I will not calm down. My mother collapsed when someone showed her video." "Who recorded my sister?" Cynthia lowered her eyes and hid her phone. Dubum looked at her. Bassie placed a hand on Ikechukwu's shoulder. The boy pushed it away. "Do not touch me. Your sister is assisting police with investigation," Bassie said. "Assisting? They said she stole 40 million. My sister cannot steal 40 naira. Mind your words inside a bank. My mother is in hospital." The branch manager came out then. "Please take him outside." Baba Musa entered and stood beside the boy. "Come, my son. Let us talk outside." Ikechukwu's voice cracked. "She is the one paying my fees. She is the one buying mama's drugs. Why are they doing this?" Dubum had to turn away. That evening, Baba Musa found him behind the generator house. The lunch crates were empty. A doggo's usual seat looked strange without her. "Mama is at Mercy Gate Hospital," Baba Musa said quietly. "The boy gave me the name." Dubum stood. "I am going." "As who?" Dubum stopped. Baba Musa's question cut him. If he went as Chidabem, everything would shift. If he went as Dubum, he could do little. "I will find a way," he said. At the hospital, he did not enter the ward at first. He stood near the payment desk wearing a cap low on his face. He heard Ikechukwu arguing with a nurse. "Please start treatment. I will bring deposit." The nurse shook her head. "We have started first aid. But for admission, you must pay. My sister is in police station. I cannot reach her. I am sorry." Dubum stepped back and called Baba Musa. "Send me the hospital account details." 10 minutes later, the deposit was paid from an account that did not carry his name. The nurse looked at her screen, surprised. "Payment has entered." Ikechukwu stared. "From who?" "It says church charity support." The boy covered his face with both hands. Dubum turned and left before he could be seen. Inside his small rented room that night, his phone rang. It was his mother. He stared at the screen before answering. "Yes, Mama." Ngozi's voice was cold and businesslike. "There is a fraud case at Victoria Island branch." "Tell her." 40 million. "I heard. I hope you are watching well. This is why I tell you people are not what they look like." Dubum closed his eyes. "Mama, has she been found guilty?" "Her ID was used." "That is not the same thing. Do not be soft because you eat lunch near these people." His eyes opened. "What did Baba Musa tell you?" "That you are safe. That is all I asked." He breathed out slowly. Ngozi continued, "I have instructed legal to pursue full prosecution. The bank's name must be protected." Dubum stood. "Mama." "No." Fraud spreads when people think mercy is weakness. You do not know the full story. Neither do you. He wanted to tell her. He wanted to say a doggo is the woman who fed me. She is the one you would respect if you saw her. She is being framed. But he heard Bassie's voice in his memory. If logs are pulled deeply, they can see source access. If power moved too early, evidence would disappear. So Dubum said carefully, "Please make sure the investigation is clean. It will be firm." "That is not what I said." There was silence. Then Ngozi asked, "Why do you care?" He looked at the small table where a doggo's container sat washed and dry. "Because I have seen enough to know something is wrong. Bring proof." He almost laughed. His mother always came back to proof. "I will," he said. The next morning, bail was set higher than a doggo's family could even dream of. The bank's legal team pushed hard. They called the amount serious. They called her a flight risk. They said the bank had suffered public harm. Dubum stood outside the station gate as the cleaner, unable to enter the room where lawyers were speaking. When Ikechukwu came out, he sat on the ground and held his head. "We cannot pay," he whispered. "We cannot pay." Dubum stood across the road, hidden partly behind a parked bus. For the first time in years, being rich felt useless, because the money in his account could free her in 1 second. But the truth needed more than money, and a doggo was still inside. The police station smelled of sweat, dust, and old paper. Dubum arrived just before noon with a small nylon bag of food and bottled water. He wore his cleaner uniform because it was the only face a doggo knew. The officer at the desk looked him up and down. "Who are you?" "Her friend." "Which friend?" "From the bank." The officer leaned back. "You people from that bank have come again?" "I am not management. I am a cleaner." The officer laughed. "Cleaner friend." Dubum lowered his eyes. "Please, I only brought food." The officer looked at the nylon bag. Then he looked at Dubum again. "No phone. No long talk." "Yes, sir." After 10 minutes, they brought a doggo out. Dubum almost did not recognize her. Her hair was rough. Her blouse was wrinkled. Her eyes looked too big for her face. She moved slowly, like every step asked for permission. When she saw him, she stopped. "Dubum." He stood. "I brought food." She looked at the bag in his hand and gave a broken smile. "You should not have come." "I know." "Then why did you?" He placed the food on the table between them. "You always ask if I have eaten." Her eyes lowered. The officer stood a few steps away, watching. A doggo sat. Dubum sat opposite her. For a moment, neither of them opened the food. Then she whispered, "My mother. She is in hospital. She is alive." A doggo covered her mouth. "They told me she collapsed. They did not let me call at first. I came yesterday." He looked so scared. "Treatment has started." "How?" "They had no money." Dubum kept his voice calm. "A charity paid the deposit." She stared at him. "What charity?" "I do not know." She looked at him for a long moment. She was weak, but she was not foolish. "Dubum." "Yes." "Did you do something?" He looked at the table. "I am a cleaner." "That is not an answer." "It is the only one I can give now." Pain entered her eyes. "Everyone keeps giving me half answers. Bassie says prove it. Police say wait. Lawyers say money. My mother is in hospital. My siblings are running around. And I am here, wearing yesterday's clothes, begging people to believe I did not steal what I cannot even count." Her voice shook, but she did not cry. Dubum gripped his knees under the table. "I believe you." She laughed once. It sounded empty. "You believe me. What can belief do? It can keep a person standing until proof comes." "Proof?" She leaned closer. "Where will proof come from? My ID was used. My terminal was used. They said my access moved the money. Even my own manager looked at me like I had become dirt. I am looking." She frowned. "You?" "Yes." "How?" He hesitated. She saw it. "Dubum, stop, please. Do not enter trouble because of me. You are already in trouble because someone entered yours." Her eyes searched his face. "What do you know?" He could not tell her everything. Not there. Not with an officer nearby. Not before he had the files safe. So he said, "I saw Bassie with the IT contractor after hours." A doggo sat back. "Kelvin, you know him?" "He handled our system training." "What did he ask you to do?" Her forehead tightened as she tried to remember. "He asked us to sync our tokens. I entered my ID. Bassie was there. I asked why it was on Kelvin's laptop. Bassie shouted. I did it." She closed her eyes. "Oh God." Dubum leaned forward. "Listen to me. You must stay calm." "How?" "Do not sign anything you do not understand." Do not let anyone push you into saying you made a mistake. Ask for your lawyer even if the lawyer is late. Say the same truth every time. She opened her eyes. What truth? That you did not authorize those transactions. That your ID was taken during system training. That Kelvin handled your token. That Bassie supervised it. She nodded slowly. The officer cleared his throat. Time. Adago looked at the unopened food. You should eat, Dubum said. She looked at him, then pushed the food toward him. Have you eaten? He froze. Even here, even with her life falling apart, even with shame sitting on her shoulders, she still asked him that. His chest tightened so hard he could barely speak.
No.
Then eat small. He shook his head. This is for you. I cannot swallow. Try. You too. The officer said. I said time. Adago stood. Her hand touched the table for balance. Dubum stood too. Adago. She looked at him. Do not forget me in here, she whispered. But do not destroy yourself trying to save me. Then she turned to the officer. As they led her away, Dubum made his choice fully. No more waiting for the world to become fair. He would move, but he would move in the dark. That evening, Baba Musa met him near the old bus stop behind the bank. They sat inside Baba Musa's small car, windows up, rain tapping on the roof. Dubum handed him an envelope. What is this? Baba Musa asked. Bail money. Baba Musa looked inside and nearly dropped it. Ah, this is more than. It must not come from me. Baba Musa looked at him. From who? From an old family friend. From church members. From anywhere. Just not me. You know this can be traced? I used a lawyer outside our company. Clean route. No Okonkwo name. Baba Musa held the envelope tightly. And hospital? Already settled for now. Same cover. Baba Musa shook his head. You are carrying fire under your shirt. Then help me not burn. The next day, Adago was released on bail. She did not go home first. She went to the hospital. Dubum watched from a distance as she entered the ward. He stood near the open door, hidden by a group of visitors. Her mother lay on the bed, thin and weak, with a drip in her hand. When she saw Adago, she tried to sit up. My child. Adago ran to her and knelt beside the bed. Mama, I did not do it. Her mother touched her face. I know. Adago broke then. She folded over her mother's arm and cried like someone who had been holding her breath underwater. Ikechukwu stood by the window, wiping his face with the back of his hand. Neka, the younger sister, held Adago's bag and cried silently. Dubum stepped away before they saw him. He could pay bills. He could move lawyers. But he could not remove that sound from his ears. That night, he returned to the branch after closing. Baba Musa opened the back gate. You have 1 hour, the old man said. The night supervisor thinks you are cleaning after fumigation. Cameras. I looped the back corridor camera for 8 minutes only. After that, you are on your own. Dubum carried a bucket and mop to look normal. Inside the bucket, wrapped in a rag, was a small external drive. He entered the server room with keys Baba Musa had borrowed from the maintenance hook. The room was cold enough to raise bumps on his arms. Machines blinked in rows. The air hummed. Dubum sat at the maintenance terminal. He knew systems, not like Kelvin, but enough. Before his father died, he had worked in almost every part of the family business. His mother had made sure he understood the bones of money. He searched for CCTV archives first. Training room. The night Adago entered her ID. He copied the footage. Back corridor. Kelvin entering after hours. Bassie beside him. He copied it. Server room camera. The angle was poor, but it showed Kelvin's laptop connected. Bassie stood near him. He copied it too. Then he looked for access logs. Teller ID, adago.u. Login attempts. Token sync. Remote credential mirror. Internal override. The trail was hidden, but not erased. Someone had tried to cover it with routine maintenance codes. Kelvin's contractor ID appeared for 2 minutes, then disappeared. Dubum copied everything. A sound came from the corridor. He froze. Footsteps. He pulled out the drive, wrapped it in the rag, and dropped it back into the bucket. The server room door opened. The night supervisor looked in. "What are you doing here?" Dubum stood at once. "Cleaning, sir." The AC leaked near the door. The supervisor looked around. "This room is restricted." "Yes, sir. I am leaving now." The man's eyes moved to the terminal. Dubum's heart stayed still by force. The screen had gone dark. "Make sure the floor is dry," the supervisor said. "Yes, sir." Dubum carried the bucket and walked out. He did not breathe properly until he reached the back stairs. Outside, Baba Musa waited. "Did you get it?" Dubum tapped the bucket. "Some. Enough."
No.
"We need Kelvin." Baba Musa's face tightened. "That one will run. Then we find him before Bassi does." The next 2 days, Dubum used every small opening he had. He checked old contractor invoices left in the maintenance cabinet. He found Kelvin's company address. It was a small IT support office in Yaba. He went there after work. The office was closed. A woman selling drinks downstairs told him Kelvin had not opened for 2 days. "Fine boy with laptop bag?" she asked. "Yes. He came yesterday night. Packed some things." He looked scared. "Do you know where he stays?" She looked at Dubum's cleaner uniform, then looked away. "Why?" "He owes people money." That answer made her laugh. Who does not owe people money? Dubum bought 2 bottles of water from her, then asked again. She gave him an area, not a full address. It was enough. As Dubum left Yaba, his phone rang. Unknown number. He answered. A low voice said, "Stop digging cleaner." Dubum did not speak. The voice continued. "Some people can fall from a height and die. You are already on the ground. Nobody will ask questions if they step on you." The call ended. Dubum stood by the roadside, buses shouting around him, and looked at his cracked phone. Then he saved the number. The name he used was simple. Fear. Kelvin was hiding in a one-room apartment behind a mechanic workshop in Suralere. Dubum found him on a hot afternoon after 3 days of asking quiet questions. The building had peeling paint, a broken stair rail, and clothes hanging over the balcony. A small generator coughed near the gate. Kelvin opened the door only a little. When he saw Dubum, his eyes widened. "You!" Dubum held the door before he could shut it. "We need to talk. I do not know you. You know Mr. Bassi. That is enough." Kelvin tried to push the door. Dubum pushed back. "I came alone," Dubum said. "But if you shut this door, the next people may not come alone." Kelvin's face was wet with sweat. "Are you police?"
No.
"Bank." "In a way." Kelvin stared at his cleaner uniform. Dubum stepped closer. "You helped clone a doggo's credentials." Kelvin whispered, "Leave me." "You helped move 40 million through her ID." "I said leave me." "You watched an innocent woman get arrested." Kelvin's mouth shook. "I did not know he would go that far." Dubum looked at him with cold anger. "You asked him why her." "I heard you." Kelvin froze. Dubum lowered his voice. "You knew enough." Kelvin stepped back slowly. Dubum entered and closed the door. The room was small and messy. A laptop sat on the bed. Clothes were packed in a half-open bag. A bus ticket lay on the table. "You are running," Dubum said. Kelvin rubbed his face. "You do not understand. Bassi will kill me." "Why?" "Because I know." "Then speak first." Kelvin laughed in fear. "To who? Police? The bank?" "Bassi knows people. He has paid people. He has my messages. He has my account details. If I talk, I am finished." "You are finished already. You just have not accepted it." Kelvin sat on the bed. Dubum brought out his phone and placed it on the table. "Say what happened." Kelvin stared at the phone.
No.
"Say it."
No.
Dubum leaned forward. "A doggo's mother is in hospital. Her siblings are begging. Her name is being dragged everywhere. She may go to prison for something you did. Say what happened." Kelvin looked away. "I have my own family, And that is why you should know what you did to hers. Kelvin covered his face. For a moment, Dubum saw him not as a villain, but as a weak man who had sold one piece of himself at a time until nothing strong was left. What did Bassi promise you? Dubum asked. Kelvin did not answer. Money, Kelvin nodded. How much? 5 million. Then more later. Why did you need it? Kelvin's shoulders dropped. My father's surgery. Debt. Rent. I do not know. Everything. He knew I was desperate. He started with small things. Password resets. Backdated logs. Nothing big. Then dormant accounts. Dubum kept his eyes on him. How long? Almost 2 years. Bassi has been taking from dormant accounts? Kelvin nodded again. Small amounts at first. Counts nobody checked. Dead customers. People abroad. Then bigger. He moved money through suspense and reverse trails. He said he would put it back before anybody noticed. Did he? Kelvin gave a weak laugh. People like that never put it back. Why frame a doggo? Kelvin looked at the floor. He said audit was coming. He needed one clean story. He said she had attitude. He said management already saw her as difficult. He said because she refused him, she would not have friends to protect her. Dubum's hand closed into a fist. Talk into the phone. Kelvin shook his head. If Bassi knows, he will know either way. But if you help, you can ask for protection. If you run, he will find you alone. Kelvin looked at the phone. His voice broke. Will she go free? If truth is enough. What if truth is not enough? Dubum's eyes hardened. Then we bring more. Kelvin picked up the phone and spoke. He said his full name. He named Bassi. He explained the system training, the clone, the after-hours server access, the 3 transfers, the dormant account scheme, and the holding account. He said Bassi paid him. He said a doggo did not know. When he finished, he looked 10 years older. Dubum took back the phone. I need documents. Kelvin opened his laptop with shaking hands. I kept some, in case he turned on me. Good. He will kill me. Dubum looked at him. No. He will wish you stayed quiet. That evening, Dubum copied the files into 3 places. One stayed with him. One went to Baba Musa. One went to a lawyer outside Okonkwo Holdings. But Bassi was not sleeping. The next morning, Dubum arrived at the branch and found 2 security men waiting by the back entrance. Not Baba Musa. New men. Mr. Bassi stood beside them. Dubum Nwosu, he said. Dubum looked at him. Yes, sir. Open your locker. Staff had begun gathering. Cynthia stood near customer service, watching with worried eyes. Dubum walked to the cleaner's corner and opened his small locker. One of the security men reached inside and brought out a brown envelope. Dubum had never seen it before. Bassi opened it. Inside were printed internal reports, 2 small flash drives, and a visitor access card. Bassi looked pleased. What is this? Dubum said nothing. The security man held up the visitor card. Bank property. Bassi turned to the branch manager, who had just arrived. Sir, I warned that this cleaner moves around restricted areas. Now we found stolen bank property in his locker. The branch manager looked at Dubum with disappointment, not anger. Dubum, is this yours? No, sir. Bassi laughed. Of course. Cynthia's face changed. She looked at the envelope, then at Bassi. Something in her eyes shifted. Bassi stepped close to Dubum. You are dismissed with immediate effect. Leave this branch now. If you come near this building again, we will hand you to police. Baba Musa entered from the gate. What is happening? Bassi snapped. Stay out of this, Musa. Baba Musa looked at Dubum. Dubum gave the smallest shake of his head. Do not fight. Bassi pointed to the door. Drop your uniform. Dubum looked around the banking hall. The staff were watching, some with pity, some with pleasure, some with fear. A doggo was not there. She had been suspended after bail, waiting for court. Dubum slowly removed his cleaner jacket and placed it on the bench. Under it, he wore a plain white shirt. Bassi smiled. Your kind always overdoes it. Give them small kindness from a woman, They think they are important. Dubum looked at him then, not as a cleaner, just for 1 second. Bassie's smile faded a little. Then Dubum picked up his small bag and walked out. At the gate, Baba Musa followed him. I said do not follow, Dubum whispered. I am old, not deaf. I did not hear that. Dubum almost smiled. Baba Musa lowered his voice. What now? Let him think I am out. He may push the court date. He already will. Baba Musa nodded toward the road. Someone wants to see you. Behind a parked car, Cynthia stood with her handbag clutched tight. Dubum frowned. Cynthia looked around before speaking. I do not know what you are doing, she said. And I do not want to know. Dubum waited. She swallowed. That day they took a doggo I recorded. I posted to one private group. Spread. I know I was wrong. Yes, Dubum said. His answer hit her. She looked down. I deleted it. But deleting does not pull shame back.
No.
She breathed in. Yesterday, I heard Bassie on the phone. He was angry. He said if the girl's case wastes time, he will move to Lekki and let fools fight dust. Dubum's eyes narrowed. Lekki? He said the house is almost ready. He said no manager's salary can build a house twice. Then he laughed. Twice? Yes, maybe he was boasting. I do not know. Where in Lekki? I only heard Osapa side. Something gardens. I did not hear well. Dubum nodded. Why tell me?
Cynthia blinked fast.
Because a doggo once covered my cash shortage when I made a mistake. She did not tell anyone. I still let them drag her. Her voice shook. I am not brave. I know that. But I am tired of watching. Dubum looked at her for a moment. Do you still have the video from the arrest? Her face filled with shame. Yes. Keep it. Why? Because it shows who said what. Do not send it to anyone unless I ask. She nodded quickly. And Cynthia? Yes. If Bassie asks, you told me nothing. I know. Dubum left the branch area without looking back. That same day, his lawyer pulled property records through a contact. Bassie owned one house in his wife's cousin's name and another under a company linked to his brother, both in Lekki, both paid for in large cash deposits over 18 months. The pattern matched the dormant account leaks. Court date came faster than expected. A doggo's case was moved to the following Monday. Bassie had pushed hard. The evidence file was now thick. CCTV, visitor logs, access logs, Kelvin's confession, payment traces, property records, Cynthia's video. Dubum sat in his rented room that night with the file spread before him. He had not slept well in days. His beard had grown rough. His hands smelled faintly of bleach even after washing. He picked up his real phone, the one he had not used in the branch. He called his mother. She answered on the second ring. Chidubem. He closed his eyes for 1 second at the sound of his real name. Then he opened them. Madam Chairman, he said, your cleaner is requesting a board audience. There was silence. Then Ngozi said, very slowly, what did you just say? Dubum looked at a doggo's photo from her desk, captured in Cynthia's video as it was dropped into the carton. I said your cleaner has found rot inside your bank. The courtroom was full before 9. A doggo sat beside her lawyer in a simple gray dress. Her hair was tied back. Her face was calm, but her hands were locked together on her lap. Her mother was too weak to come, but Ikechukwu sat behind her with Neka. Baba Musa sat near the back, wearing a clean kaftan and a face that showed nothing. Cynthia sat 2 rows behind the bank staff. She kept her head down. Mr. Bassie arrived with the bank's legal team. He wore a dark blue suit and a careful look of sadness, like a man pained by duty. When he passed a doggo, he paused. I am sorry it came to this, he said softly. A doggo looked up at him. No, you are not. His eyes hardened for 1 quick second. Then he walked on. The bank's lawyer began strong. He stood before the court with printed reports and a voice that sounded sure. My lord, this is not a case of suspicion. This is a case of internal records. The accused was a teller. Her credentials were used to move 40 million naira through 3 unauthorized transactions. Her access was active. Her terminal mapping was involved. The bank suffered loss, and public trust was damaged. Adago's lawyer rose. "My lord, we maintain that my client did not authorize those transactions. Her credentials were cloned." The bank's lawyer turned to him. "With respect, that is a convenient story. Every fraudster, when caught, says someone else used their password." Adago flinched. The lawyer continued. "The accused had training on security. She knew the risk. She handled her token. She cannot now blame shadows." He called the audit lead. She testified that the transactions traced to Adago's ID. She admitted under cross-exam that deeper source logs had not been fully available at the first audit. Then Bassi was called. He walked to the witness stand with slow steps. He swore to tell the truth. The bank's lawyer asked, "Mr. Bassi, what is your role?" "I am operations manager at Zenith Trust, Victoria Island branch." "Do you know the accused?" "Yes, she worked under operations as a junior teller." "How would you describe her work?" Bassi sighed. "She was good with customers, but she sometimes questioned instructions." Adago's lawyer stood. "My lord." The judge raised a hand. "Let him answer carefully." Bassi nodded. "I do not mean she was bad, but she had a pattern of resisting process." The bank's lawyer asked, "Did she attend system training?" "Yes." "Was she warned about teller ID safety?" "Yes, all tellers were warned." "After the fraud was discovered, did she give any clear explanation?" Bassi looked at Adago.
No.
"She only denied." The bank's lawyer let the words settle. Then Adago's lawyer rose. "Mr. Bassi, did you supervise the system training?" "Yes." "Was an external IT contractor present?" "Yes, for technical support." "Did the contractor use a personal laptop?" Bassi's face stayed calm. "I do not recall." "You do not recall?" "It was routine training." "Did Adago question the process?" "She questions many things." Some people in court murmured. The judge looked up. Silence. Adago's lawyer continued. "Is it true that my client refused personal advances from you?" Bassi's face changed. "That is false." "Is it true that after she refused you, her promotion was delayed twice?" "That is an insult." "Answer the question." "Promotions depend on many factors." "Factors like saying yes to you?" The bank's lawyer rose. "My lord, this is harassment of a witness." The judge nodded. "Counsel, stay with evidence." Adago's lawyer pressed his lips together. He had truth but not enough proof. Bassi knew it. The bank's lawyer stood again. "My lord, the defense is trying to make this emotional because the records are clear." Adago looked down. Her hands shook now. Baba Musa looked toward the door. At that moment, the courtroom door opened. A court officer entered and walked to the bank's lawyer. He whispered something. The lawyer frowned. The judge looked over his glasses. "What is happening?" The officer said, "My lord, representatives from Zenith Trust Ownership are requesting to present urgent evidence relevant to this matter." The bank's lawyer looked confused. "My lord, I represent the bank." The officer added, "The chairman's office is present." A whisper moved through the room. Bassi turned. The door opened wider. Chief Mrs. Ngozi Okonkwo entered first. She wore a dark green wrapper and blouse, simple but powerful. 2 lawyers followed her. Then a man in a black suit walked in with a file in his hand. For a moment, Adago did not understand what she was seeing. The man was tall, clean-shaven. His shoes shone. His suit fit like it had been made on him. He walked with the calm of someone used to rooms making space. Then he turned his face. Adago stopped breathing. Dubam, but not Dubam.
No cleaner uniform. No tired shirt. No map smell.
No cracked phone. Chidibem Okonkwo walked into the courtroom. Baba Musa lowered his head. Cynthia covered her mouth. Mr. Bassi's face lost color. Adago stared at him like the floor had opened. Chidibem did not look at her first. Maybe he could not. He walked to the front with the bank's ownership lawyers. Ngozi stood beside him, her face tight. The judge looked displeased. "This court does not entertain drama. Explain yourselves." One of Ngozi's lawyers bowed. "My lord, we apologize. New evidence has come to the bank's ownership showing that the accused may have been framed by a senior staff member. We ask the court's leave to submit this evidence immediately." The bank's lawyer looked shocked. "My lord, I was not informed." Ngozi turned to him. "Neither was I when my bank was being robbed." The courtroom went silent. The judge leaned back. "Who is presenting?" Chidubem stepped forward. "My lord, my name is Chidubem Okonkwo. I am executive director of Okonkwo Holdings and a member of the ownership family of Zenith Trust." Adago's eyes filled, but no tears fell. He continued, "For the past weeks, I worked undercover at the Victoria Island branch under the name Dubum Nwosu as a cleaner." A wave of shock moved through the room. Bassi stood. "My lord, this is madness. This man is lying. This is a setup." The judge hit the desk. "Sit down." Bassi sat slowly. Chidubem opened the file. "My lord, I did not come with stories. I came with records." He handed the first set to the court clerk. "This is the visitor log from the night before the transactions. It shows Kelvin Adetola, external IT contractor, entering the branch after hours at 7:15 p.m., authorized by Mr. Victor Bassi." Bassi shook his head. "That was routine maintenance." Chidubem handed another document. "This is CCTV from the server room that same night. It shows Mr. Bassi and Kelvin working inside the server room after close." The court screen was set up. The footage played. There was Bassi. There was Kelvin. The timestamp glowed in the corner. The courtroom murmured again. Chidubem continued. "These are access logs recovered from internal archives. They show that Adago Uma's teller credentials were mirrored during a training session supervised by Mr. Bassi and handled by Kelvin Adetola. The logs also show contractor-level access linked to the unauthorized transactions." The judge looked at the papers carefully. Bassi's lawyer whispered fast into his ear. Chidubem lifted a small drive. "This court also has a recorded confession from Kelvin Adetola." The recording played. Kelvin's shaky voice filled the courtroom. "My name is Kelvin Adetola. Mr. Victor Bassi paid me to clone Adago Uma's teller credentials during system training. She did not know. He told me to route 40 million through her ID because audit was coming. He said people would believe she did it because she had been difficult at work. Mr. Bassi has been moving money from dormant accounts for almost 2 years." Adago closed her eyes. Ikechukwu started crying behind her. The recording continued, but Bassi shouted over it. "Lies! He is lying to save himself." Chidubem turned a page. "These are payment trails from companies linked to Mr. Bassi's relatives. These are property records for 2 houses in Lekki paid for in cash-heavy deposits during the same period dormant account funds were moved." The judge's face was hard now. Ngozi stood very still. Chidubem looked at Bassi at last. "You used her because she would not bow to you." Bassi pointed at him. "You think because you are Okonkwo you can enter court and destroy people? Your family owns the bank, not the law." Chidubem's voice stayed calm. "No. That is why I brought the law." The judge ordered a short recess for review. But before anyone could leave, the police prosecutor stood and requested that Mr. Bassi be held for questioning based on the new evidence. Bassi stepped back. No, this is wrong. I served that bank for 14 years. Ngozi looked at him then, and stole from it for 2. His face twisted. You people sit on top and judge. Do you know what they pay managers compared to what we carry? Do you know the pressure? Targets, school fees, family, debts, people begging every day. I made that branch work. Adago looked at him. So you buried me to save yourself? Bassi turned to her. You were not supposed to suffer this much. If you had just kept quiet, maybe the bank would settle. She stood slowly. I was in a cell. He looked away. The police moved toward him. Bassi pulled back once, but there was nowhere to go. They took his phone, then held his arms. As they led him away, he looked at Chidubem. You think she will thank you? Chidabem did not answer. Bassi laughed bitterly. She will hate you more than me. Then he was taken out. The judge cleared a doggo of the immediate charge and ordered a full investigation into Bassi, Kelvin, and the dormant account fraud. The bank's legal team withdrew its complaint against her on record. Words moved around a doggo. Cleared. False charge. Investigation. Apology. But she sat still. Chidabem turned toward her at last. A doggo. She stood. The whole courtroom seemed to wait. He took one step closer. I am sorry. She looked at him like she was seeing every lunch, every container, every quiet talk behind the generator house, and watching them change shape. Who are you? She asked. His throat moved. Chidubem Okonkwo. She nodded slowly. The cleaner was a lie. My name was. And the poverty? He said nothing. The transport money? His face tightened. I am sorry. She laughed softly, but it broke in the middle. I gave you money I needed. I know. You watched them arrest me. His eyes filled. I was trying to get proof. You watched me drown while you held the boat. The words hit harder than any shout. Ngozi stepped forward. My dear A doggo turned to her. Please, ma. Not now. Ngozi stopped. A doggo picked up her small bag. Chidabem reached out, then stopped before touching her. A doggo, please. She looked at his hand. Then she looked at his face. The man behind the generator house listened to me. He ate with me. I trusted him. I was real with you. No, she said. You were safe with me. I was the one who was real. She walked past him. Ikechukwu and Neka followed her. Baba Musa stood, but a doggo did not look back. Outside the courtroom, cameras were waiting, but she covered her face and kept walking. Chidubem stood where she left him. Ngozi came beside him. For the first time in many years, Chief Mrs. Ngozi Okonkwo looked unsure. She is the one? She asked. Chidubem looked at the door. She is the one who fed me. Ngozi closed her eyes, and the silence that followed was heavier than judgment. Chidubem did not send flowers. He did not send a car. He did not send a new phone, a new house, or a box of money. The first thing he sent was a doggo's food container. Washed, empty, wrapped in a clean cloth. He gave it to Baba Musa to deliver because he knew if he came himself, she might throw it back at him. Baba Musa took it to her mother's compound in Surulere on a quiet Saturday morning. The compound was old but clean. Children played near the tap. Women washed clothes in basins. Someone's radio played low from a window. A doggo came out when Baba Musa knocked. Her face changed when she saw him. Baba. My daughter. She greeted him and led him to a wooden bench outside. He handed her the cloth. He said to return this. She opened it and saw the container. Her fingers held it tightly for 1 second. Then she closed the cloth again. Tell him thank you.
Baba Musa nodded.
He also said he will not disturb you. Good.
Baba Musa stood.
A doggo looked up.
Baba.
Yes. Did you know? His face became sad. Yes. Her eyes lowered. From the beginning? Yes. She nodded like that answer had hurt, but she had expected it. I am sorry, Baba Musa said. She looked at him. Did you laugh at me?
No.
Did he? Baba Musa's voice became firm. Never. She swallowed. Then why does it still feel like I was made a fool? Because pain does not ask for full facts before it enters. She looked away. Baba Musa left without saying more. 3 days later, Chidubem came himself. He did not wear a suit. He wore a simple shirt, dark trousers, and sandals. No driver followed him into the compound. No guard stood beside him. He carried nothing. A doggo's younger brother, Ikechukwu, saw him first. His face hardened. What do you want? To see a doggo. She does not want to see you. I know. Then go. Chidubem nodded. I will wait outside. Ikechukwu stared at him. You think this is film? You will stand and she will pity you.
No.
Then why are you here? Because I was wrong. Ikechukwu stepped closer. My sister was in police cell. My mother almost died. You people used our life to do experiment. Chidubem took the words without moving. You are right to be angry. That made Ikechukwu angrier. Do not be humble with me. I do not need it. A doggo came out then. Ike. Her brother turned. He came. I can see. Chidubem looked at her. She looked stronger now but tired. Her eyes did not run from him. That was almost worse. Good afternoon, he said. She did not answer the greeting. What do you want? To help.
No.
He nodded. Then to apologize. You did that in court. Not well. There is no good way. I know. She folded her arms. You know many things now. He took the hit. I deserve that. I did not ask what you deserve. The compound had gone quiet. People pretended not to listen. A doggo noticed and stepped outside the gate. Chidubem followed, leaving space between them. She turned to him. You should not come here again. I will respect that if you mean it. I mean it. He nodded. Okay. She seemed surprised he did not fight. He looked toward the compound. Your mother's hospital bill is fully covered for 3 months. After that, nothing else will be paid unless you allow it. I will not force help on you again. Her eyes flashed. You paid without asking. Yes. Again. Yes. Why is it so hard for you rich people to ask before entering someone's life? He looked down. Because we are used to doors opening. She stared at him. It was the first honest answer that did not sound prepared. He continued, I am learning that some doors should stay closed until the owner opens them. Her face did not soften. My mother thanks the charity every night. His voice went low. I am sorry. Stop saying that like it can return the nights I spent afraid. He nodded. You are right. She shook her head. You keep agreeing. It is annoying. A small smile almost touched his face, but he stopped it. I can stop. Please do. Silence sat between them. Then a woman inside the compound called, A doggo. The plates are many. A doggo turned. Chidubem spoke quickly. I can wash them. She looked back at him. What? The plates. You want to wash plates? Yes. In my mother's compound? Yes. Why? Because they are dirty. She stared at him, then gave a short laugh in disbelief.
No.
He nodded. Okay. He turned to leave. She watched him take 3 steps. Then she said, You will not even argue? He turned back. You asked me not to force help. She looked at him for a long moment. Then she pointed toward the compound. There are basins near the tap. If you break anything, you will pay. I understand. He followed her inside. Ikechukwu looked ready to explode. Mama will not like this, he said. Their mother's voice came from the doorway. Mama is watching. Everyone turned. Mrs. Uma stood with a wrapper tied around her waist. She was still thin, but her eyes were clear. She looked at Chidubem for a long time. So this is the rich cleaner. Chidubem bowed his head. Good afternoon, Ma. You made my daughter cry. Yes, Ma. You helped clear her name. Yes, Ma. You lied to her. Yes, Ma. You are washing plates? If she allows. Mrs. Uma looked at a doggo. A doggo looked away. Her mother nodded toward the tap. Then wash well. We do not have machine here. Chidubem rolled up his sleeves. He washed plates for 2 hours. Children gathered at first, laughing that a rich man was bending over a basin. Ikechukwu watched with cold eyes. Neka hid a smile. A doggo moved in and out, carrying things, never helping him, never praising him. When he finished, his back ached. Mrs. Uma inspected 1 plate. It is clean, she said. Ikechukwu muttered. Because he washed it 10 times. Chidubem dried his hands. I will go now. A doggo followed him to the gate. You do not have to come back. I know. Yet you will. Only if you allow. She did not answer. The next Saturday he came again. This time he brought nothing. He helped Ikechukwu fix a broken shelf. Ikechukwu refused to hand him tools at first, then finally threw a screwdriver near his feet. Use that. Thank you. I did not give you because I like you. I know. The third week, Chidabem came and sat with Mrs. Uma while Adago went to buy drugs. The older woman asked him about his father. Was he kind? Chidabem thought carefully. He was generous. Kindness took him longer. Mrs. Uma nodded. Generous men give from the hand. Kind men give from the heart. You must learn the difference. I am trying, Ma. Trying is not enough if you stop when it becomes hard. I will not stop. She looked toward the road where Adago had gone. My daughter does not need a savior. She has been saving people since she was small. If you want her, do not stand above her. Stand beside her. Yes, Ma. When Adago returned and saw them talking, she stopped at the gate. What is going on? Her mother smiled. I am interviewing the applicant. Adago closed her eyes. Mama. Chidabem looked down, but Mrs. Uma laughed. Weeks passed. The bank placed Adago on full paid leave while the internal investigation continued. Bassie's name entered the news. Kelvin entered witness protection through legal pressure from the Okonkwo side. Dormant account victims began to be traced. Cynthia gave her statement. The branch manager was suspended for failing to act sooner. Ngozi Okonkwo did not rush to Adago. She wanted to. Chidabem knew she wanted to fix everything quickly because that was how she lived. But he told her no. She is not a project, Mama. Ngozi sat behind her desk, the same desk where she had once given him the marriage list. I know that now. Do you? His mother looked at him. I am trying. He almost smiled. Mrs. Uma said trying is not enough. Ngozi's lips moved, almost a smile too. Then I will do more than try. One evening, Adago agreed to meet Chidabem at a small restaurant near her mother's compound. Not expensive, not hidden, not romantic. Just 2 plastic chairs outside with soft drinks between them. She arrived first. When he came, he stopped beside the table. Can I sit? She nodded. He sat. For a while, they watched cars pass. Then she said, I still get angry. I know. Sometimes I remember the lunch. Then I remember the court. Then I do not know which one was true. He kept his hands on the table where she could see them. Ask me anything. She looked at him. The man behind the generator house. Was he real? He breathed in. Yes. Which part? The part that liked sitting with you. The part that hated seeing you tired. The part that laughed when you said I fought with Stu. The part that wanted to tell you everything and was afraid of losing the only honest thing I had found. Her eyes did not leave his face. And the poor man? Borrowed. The name? Borrowed. The room in Aja? Borrowed. The transport money? His face tightened. That was wrong. Yes. I kept it. She frowned. You kept my money? Yes. In an envelope. I could not spend it. Why? Because it was the first money someone gave me when they thought I had nothing. Her face changed, but she fought it. He continued. Everything was borrowed except how I felt. Adago looked away. A bus passed, loud and full. When the sound faded, she said, I do not know if I can trust you. I know. I may ask the same question many times. I will answer. I may be unkind. I will listen. I may still walk away. His voice became quiet. I will not block the road. She looked at him again. That sounds like something you practiced. He shook his head. No. It sounds like something I learned late. She looked at the soft drink bottle in front of her, then pushed it toward him. You have not taken anything. He looked at the bottle, then at her. A small pain crossed her face. Do not make it big, she said. He took the bottle and drank. It was not forgiveness, but it was not nothing. 2 days later, Chief Mrs. Ngozi Okonkwo came to the Uma compound. No convoy. 1 car. 1 driver who stayed outside. She wore a plain brown dress and carried a file. Chidabem was not with her. Adago met her at the entrance. Good afternoon, Ma. Ngozi bowed her head slightly. Good afternoon, Adago. May I come in? Adago stepped aside. Mrs. Uma sat in the small sitting room. Ikechukwu stood by the wall. Neka sat near the window, pretending to read. Ngozi did not sit until Mrs. Uma asked her to. Then she placed the file on the table. "I came to apologize," Ngozi said. Adago's face stayed still. Ngozi looked at Mrs. Uma. "My bank hurt your daughter. My order made the weight heavier. I asked for full prosecution before I asked enough questions. I protected the name of a bank before I protected the truth of a person." Mrs. Uma watched her. "That is a heavy thing to admit. It is heavier to carry if I do not admit it." Ngozi turned to Adago. "I am sorry." Adago did not answer at once. Then she said, "Did you know who I was to your son?"
No.
"Would it have changed your order?" Ngozi's face tightened. "At that time, maybe, and that is part of my shame. Truth should not need my son's heart before I respect it." Adago looked down. Ngozi opened the file. "This is not a gift." Adago's eyes sharpened. Ngozi continued, "Zenith Trust is opening a women's microfinance arm next year. It was planned before I knew you. After the investigation, we reviewed staff records. Your record is clean. Your customer feedback is strong. Your accounting course, your work with elderly customers, your knowledge of small traders, all of it fits." She pushed the file forward. "I am offering you a place on the founding team. Not because my son loves you. Not because we owe you. Because you earned it. The role is assistant director during setup with training. If you pass the board review after 1 year, full directorship." Adago did not touch the file. Ikechukwu's eyes widened. Mrs. Uma stayed quiet. Adago looked at Ngozi. "If I say no, then you say no. Your record remains clean. Your compensation for wrongful accusations still stands. Your apology still stands. This offer does not buy your silence. It does not buy your forgiveness. It is work if you want it." Adago opened the file slowly. Inside were reports, recommendations, customer notes, and performance records. No pity words, no love words, just proof. Her fingers stopped on one page, a note from the elderly customer she had helped. She read it twice, then she closed the file. "I will think about it." Ngozi nodded. "That is fair." As Ngozi stood to leave, Mrs. Uma spoke. "Chief Mrs." Ngozi turned. "Yes, Ma? Your son washes plates badly, but he is improving." Ngozi blinked. Then, for the first time in a long while, she laughed softly. "I will tell him to practice more." Adago looked away, but a small smile came and left quickly. Months passed. Not like magic. Not like pain had no memory. Some days, Adago answered Chidibem's calls. Some days she did not. Some days they walked together after her classes. Some days she told him she needed space and he gave it. He learned to ask before helping. She learned that anger could sit beside love without killing it at once. Ngozi and Mrs. Uma met twice. The first meeting was stiff. The second had tea. By the third, Mrs. Uma told Ngozi her head tie was too tight, and Ngozi loosened it without argument. Adago accepted the microfinance role after a full interview with the board. She wore a navy suit she bought herself. Chidibem waited outside the building, not in the room. When she came out, he stood. "How did it go?" She looked at him with a straight face. "They asked hard questions. And I answered harder." He smiled. "That sounds like you." She held up the offer letter. "I got it." He wanted to hug her. He stopped himself. She saw him stop. Then she stepped forward and hugged him first. It was brief, but it was enough to make him close his eyes. 1 year after the day he first entered Zenith Trust as a cleaner, Chidibem stood in front of a church in Lagos wearing a cream suit. Baba Musa stood beside him as if guarding him from running away. "You are sweating," Baba Musa said. "I am not. You are. Face front, Baba. I have faced front for many years. Today I am enjoying myself." Ngozi sat in the front row beside Mrs. Uma. Both women held handkerchiefs. Ikechukwu stood near the aisle, still trying to look serious, but failing. Then Adago entered. She did not look like the girl dragged through the banking hall. She did not look like the woman crying beside a hospital bed. She walked slowly, steady and sure, her eyes on Chidabem. When she reached him, she whispered, "Have you eaten?" He almost laughed.
No.
She shook her head, still careless. The pastor began, but Chidabem barely heard the first words. He only heard her breathing beside him. At the reception, people ate, danced, and talked too loudly. Cynthia came and apologized again. A doggo hugged her. Not long, but enough. Kelvin's written apology had arrived weeks before, and a doggo had read it in silence. Bassie's trial was still going on. The money trail was long. Justice was not quick, but it was moving. Near the end of the reception, a doggo disappeared for a few minutes. Chidabem found her behind the hall, near the catering table. She held 2 small food containers. He stared at them. "What is this?" "Jollof rice." "For who?" She handed one to him. "For you." He opened it. Rice, chicken, plantain, and half an egg. He looked at the second container in her hand. "And that one?" She smiled. "For me. I have learned not to give you all my food." He laughed then, full and free. She sat on a low bench behind the hall. He sat beside her. Music played inside. Guests called their names. Cameras waited. But for a few minutes, they stayed there, eating jollof rice from 2 containers like they were back behind the generator house. Only this time, nothing between them was borrowed. And when a doggo looked at him, she saw both men. The cleaner who had listened, the rich man who had learned, and the husband who now knew that love was not proved by hiding power, but by using it with care, truth, and permission.